In this video, I want to go over the critical strategy that you're skipping to do before you even start your budget. This is a process that could save you hundreds of dollars, and quite honestly, it's a process that you're probably overlooking and most people are overlooking. So just for some extra context, my name's Chris. I've been an accountant for 10 years now, and I help people with their personal finances, and every person that's gone through this has found significant value, okay? And I'm not going to promise that you'll find hundreds of dollars or whatever throughout this process, but I will promise that you will have a mindset shift when it comes to your spending, when it comes to your finances. Because honestly, many people just aren't talking about it, so let's get right into it. This process is called the 3-month look back. Now, I'm recording this video in September, so how the 3-month look back is going to work. Before you start your budget, by the way, remember that, okay? This process asks you to look back to the 3 months prior, so June, July, and August. And you look at all of your variable expenses for those months. So you want to make different categories of different expenses that you've made throughout those 3 months. And I have some generic ones that I've listed here. So think of things like groceries, gas, utilities, dining out, etc. Okay, so whatever is a variable expense for you, so things that occur every single month or every other month, whatever. But they alter, right? They change every month. Obviously, your groceries is not going to be exactly the same every month. Your gas is not going to be exactly the same every month, okay? So think about those strategies. Now, why is this so powerful? I think when people think of budgeting, they think instantly that it's this restrictive action and, oh my gosh, I just have to cut. I have to cut everything out of my life. I have to cut my lifestyle. I have to go down to rice and beans. I have to, do a tag sale to make $40. That's not necessarily what a budget is. I want you to think of budgeting as being more intentional with your finances. This helped me when I was going through my process of paying down $43,000 worth of debt in about a year. Okay, we did something similar where we're like, how do we figure out where our priorities lie? Okay, so I want you to write a list out of what are the most important things in your life. So it could be a life goal or a financial goal. So it could be, again, like paying down debt, like I went through. And then when you simply go through this process, and we're gonna talk about the tactics of this in a second, you'll see exactly where your money's going. It's 3 months, so there's no like, oh, this was a bad month, this was this, and it's like, no, this is 3 months. So the average that you're gonna see here is pretty accurate towards what's actually happening. So by the power of technology, I'm gonna pretend like we started entering some of this data in here. And ta-da, so we entered our June, July, and our August, okay? So we have some numbers in here, which is great, and the spreadsheet will calculate the average for each of those expense categories. And now this is where we're gonna see where our money's actually going, and then if that thing is important enough in our life or if it matches a financial goal that we're trying to reach, okay? So a lot of times when people do this, they underestimate certain things like, oh, everything's fine. And then they look at it and they're like, wow, I am getting too much takeout, or wow, I'm buying too much on Amazon, right? Whatever the thing is, when the numbers are in front of you, the numbers don't lie, okay? Your brain lies to you because you like to think that you're not being as bad as you are, and maybe you like to blame an outside force or something. But the truth is, it's your personal finances. You got to know the numbers, okay? And I'm kind of talking to myself too, because back in the day, I used to just be willy-nilly up in my head about my personal finances. I'd go to the grocery store and I'd forget that I went, I'd do my main shopping on like a Sunday, and then I forget that I went on like a Wednesday to get 3 or 4 things. And then when you actually add up the numbers, it's like, wow, where did this $80 come from this month? It's just, you forget about the extra like one-offs, or you just forget. It's hard to remember 30 days worth of transactions. That's why we do this. So we have our numbers here. Now, we want to make sure that, again, the expenses that we see are aligned. So there's really 2 ways you can go about this. 1, you could look at things and try to cut them. And 2, you could try to add expenses. Something that's really important to you, you might want to add an expense. So let's go through both of those examples. But yeah, the best way to start is really to, again, by the power of technology, we're going to add new budgeted amounts. And we're going to look at our average, right? And then we're going to try and figure out like, okay, are there things that we can cut down on? Are there things that we should be increasing based on, again, financial goal, life goal? Okay, so the 2 examples are groceries, right? You could see here our average was $550, and we're looking at this and we're like, you know what? Maybe our new budget amount could be $500. We shop at the super expensive grocery store. I think going, down a expense level or down a dollar sign for the grocery store or 2, we could reasonably save $50. We're still buying basically the same stuff. Maybe we go to the expensive store to get our 1, 2, 3 things that we really like, but I think reasonably we could save $50. Now, the key to this whole strategy is this column here, okay? So what action will you take to make this happen? Now, this is so important because anyone can just say, this seems high. Let me try to save money on this, or let me try to spend less on this. But the action needs to be something that you can sustain and you can be consistent with, and that, again, aligns with a financial goal, right? So for this, for example, we're going to do cheaper store, okay? And sometimes if you want, extra credit on this to yourself, you could say like the extra $50, extra 50 goes towards debt, right? And that way you have an alignment with your intentionality of your spending, but also like, why are we doing it, right? You could just save $50, but like, what's the point if you're just gonna use it for something else, like use it for an Amazon thing or whatever, right? So you have to be intentional. Like, okay, I'm gonna go to a cheaper store, and I think we're gonna start with just $50. Maybe in the future we could try to even lower it once we get some more data in, right? But let's say $50, and the $50 is going to go towards paying down debt. So this is awesome, right? Now, the other way around this, we have our health and fitness. Let's say you're like, wow, I'm only spending $30 a month. And it's like, you know what? Yeah, I only go to the gym like 3 or 4 days a week, but my health and fitness is so important to me that I think I need to increase it, right? I think I need to do more classes or more supplements, whatever, right? So you're like, you know what? I want to double this. I think reasonably doubling this. Being fit and being healthy is a life goal for me, and it has nothing to do with finances. As you can see, like our monthly savings is going down from the average, but this is an important goal for me. So I'm just going to say we're going to take more classes, and it's a life goal. Okay. Again, we want to talk about the how. So the more classes is how we're going to be spending more money, and then the why, right? The life goal. Like, I'd like to live longer. I'd like, my heart to keep working. That's how that works. So it doesn't have to just be, where do I cut? Oh my God, I need to spend less money here. It's not how it works, okay? You can add more things too. It's all about alignment. So you'll see, and we kind of brushed on it here, but this monthly savings is going to calculate the difference of the average minus your new budget amount. So as you can see, we have some items here in the green. So green means that we're saving money based on our average, and the red means that we are spending more based on the average, okay? And down here is the really cool part. It totals it up, so you can see it's $131. So that's cool. This is what I was talking about, where you could save hundreds of dollars, and we didn't even have to like get a second job or get more hours or anything like that. We didn't have to do a tag sale to get this. Like, you just look at your personal finances, and most people are just finding more money by doing that, because it's really hard to track 30 days of transactions. You try your best, but it's almost impossible. That's why we have to write it down. So this $131, when you multiply it times 12, so remember, this is just a monthly amount, it's $1,500, almost $1,600. Now think about in your life what you could do with an extra $1,600 a year. That's pretty intriguing, right? Maybe you put it down towards debt. Maybe you start beefing up your emergency fund, or maybe you whatever, right? You do whatever you want to do, save for a vacation. Like, I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money, but the best thing about this is we're just being more intentional, and then how we're going to be using that money towards a financial goal or a life goal, right? Whatever. So imagine if you put an extra $131 towards your debt every single month. Your debt would go down significantly faster. You would have less interest. You'd become debt-free faster. $131 is a big deal. Now, that was the 3-month look back, okay? And that's what this video is all about. This tab is the monthly budget tab, okay? So this is the big kahuna, the thing that we're trying to look for. So to follow along with the 3-month look back or the budget template, okay? All of that's in the description of this video. It's also going to give you a few extra bonus files, okay? So a debt payment calculator, an emergency fund calculator, and a net worth tracker. And I'm going to leave a video here somewhere on the screen of the tutorial of what to do with the budget, and I will see you in the next one.